My cheating wife preferred to dance with her lover at the party than with me, so I announced the night was supposed to be magical, a celebration of love and togetherness at an elegant gala in the heart of the city. For Ethan, it was an opportunity to reconnect with his wife, Olivia, amidst the music and laughter of their social circle. But little did he know, the evening would unravel a truth so devastating it would forever alter his life. When my wife chose to dance with someone else, Ethan begins, she had no idea I was about to change everything, forever. From the outside, Ethan and Olivia's relationship seemed flawless. Ethan was a dedicated husband, always prioritizing Olivia's happiness. Olivia, with her dazzling smile and infectious charm, was the life of every gathering. But beneath the surface, cracks had started to show. Ethan had noticed subtle changes. Her late-night texts, her drifting attention during conversations, and her reluctance to spend time alone with him. These moments planted seeds of doubt in his mind. Reflecting on this, Ethan admits he was torn. Guilt gnawed at him for doubting her loyalty, yet his instincts screamed that something was amiss. The gala, Olivia's favorite type of event, seemed like the perfect opportunity to reconnect. Ethan recalls how Olivia spent hours selecting her dress, her excitement bubbling over as she prepared. She was glowing, Ethan recalls, but it wasn't for me. His words set the tone for what was to come. A story not just of betrayal, but of the courage to confront it. With emotions simmering, Ethan promises to take his audience on a journey through heartbreak, discovery, and a resolution that would leave everyone questioning their own relationships. From the outside, Ethan and Olivia's life together seemed picture perfect. Ethan, 36, a successful entrepreneur, had built a comfortable life through years of hard work. Olivia, 34, epitomized sophistication and effortlessly charmed everyone she met. Their marriage appeared to be a fairy tale. Lavish vacations, a beautiful home, and an enviable social calendar. But Ethan couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. He recalls their early days together, when laughter and shared dreams defined their relationship. We used to talk for hours about everything and nothing, he shares. Over the years, Olivia had changed. She became engrossed in her social life, prioritizing parties and networking over quiet evenings at home. Ethan tried to be supportive, chalking it up to her outgoing nature. But the increasing distance left him feeling like a stranger in his own marriage. Then came the signs. Olivia's phone, once casually left on the kitchen counter, was now always tucked away. Her laughter at text messages she refused to explain, and the vague answers she gave to his questions deepened Ethan's unease. Yet he silenced his doubts, not wanting to appear paranoid. The gala, an extravagant event hosted by one of Olivia's colleagues, was supposed to be a fresh start. Olivia insisted Ethan join her, claiming it was important for him to meet her friends. Ethan saw it as an opportunity to rekindle their bond. But as they prepared for the evening, her excitement seemed disproportionate. She spent days planning her outfit. More than usual, Ethan remembers. It felt like she was dressing to impress someone. But I convinced myself it was just her usual flair. Unbeknownst to Ethan, the gala would become the setting for a betrayal that would shatter their lives. The event was breathtaking. Glittering chandeliers cast a warm glow over a sea of elegantly dressed guests. Ethan felt a twinge of pride as he walked in with Olivia, her beauty turning heads. She wore a sleek black gown that seemed to capture the light, her laughter echoing as she greeted friends and acquaintances. For a brief moment, Ethan allowed himself to believe in the life they had built together, a partnership as dazzling as the evening itself. But the illusion began to crumble almost immediately. Ethan noticed Olivia's interactions with a man named Ryan, one of her colleagues. Tall, charismatic, and exuding confidence, Ryan seemed to command Olivia's attention effortlessly. Ethan brushed it off at first, convincing himself it was just professional camaraderie. But the way Olivia leaned in slightly when Ryan spoke, the way her eyes sparkled at his jokes, these were moments of familiarity Ethan hadn't seen in her interactions with anyone else. Not even him. I'm overthinking. Ethan told himself. Ethan tried to dismiss the unsettling feeling in his chest. I'm overthinking, he told himself. But as the night progressed, the nagging suspicion only grew stronger. Olivia seemed more invested in the party than in spending time with him. When Ethan asked her to introduce him to her friends, she waved him off with a casual, "I'll do it later," left standing alone at the edge of the room, nursing his drink. Ethan watched Olivia from a distance. Ryan wasn't just a colleague. He was someone Olivia clearly admired. Ethan couldn't ignore how they gravitated toward each other as the night wore on. Their interactions became more frequent, more intimate. Every laugh, every shared glance felt like a slap in the face. He tried to reason with himself, calling it paranoia, but the sinking feeling in his chest refused to go away. What was supposed to be a night of celebration had turned into something else entirely, a stage where Ethan's suspicions were solidifying into undeniable truths. As the evening reached its peak, the live band struck up a slow, romantic tune, inviting couples to the dance floor. Ethan saw this as his chance. Maybe, just maybe, he could salvage the night and remind Olivia of the bond they once shared. He approached her with a hopeful smile, extending his hand. "Care to dance?" he asked, his tone light yet earnest. Olivia hesitated. Her eyes darted around the room before she offered a weak smile. "Oh, Ethan, I'm exhausted. Maybe later," she said, brushing him off as she made her way toward the bar. Ethan stood there, swallowing his disappointment. He tried to convince himself it was nothing, that he was imagining the growing distance between them. But moments later, the truth became unavoidable. Across the dance floor, Ethan spotted Olivia, not resting at the bar but swaying in Ryan's arms. The two moved in perfect rhythm, her head tilted back in laughter as Ryan leaned in to whisper something in her ear. The intimacy between them was undeniable, their connection apparent to anyone watching. Ethan's chest tightened as his mind raced. Was this what had been happening all along? The late nights, the secrecy, the coldness at home. Had it all been leading to this moment? His emotions swung wildly between anger, sadness, and a strange sense of relief. At least now he had clarity. But Ethan wasn't one to create a scene. Instead of storming over, he stood silently, taking in every detail. The way Olivia's hand rested on Ryan's shoulder, the way her gaze sparkled as she looked up at him like he was the only person in the room. Ethan's resolve hardened. If Olivia wanted to make her choice public, so would he. What happened next would ensure no one in that room ever forgot the night Olivia chose someone else over her husband. The room buzzed with laughter and conversation as Ethan made his way to the stage. The host had announced a closing toast, and Ethan seized the moment to make his voice heard. Taking the microphone, he cleared his throat, his calm demeanor masking the storm raging inside him. "Good evening, everyone," he began, his voice steady. "Thank you for being here tonight. I'd like to propose a toast to truth, because truth has a funny way of revealing itself when you least expect it." The crowd quieted, their attention drawn to Ethan's unexpected speech. Olivia, standing near the dance floor, froze. Her face turned pale as their eyes met. "Tonight, I learned something valuable," Ethan continued. "It's heartbreaking to realize that the person you've devoted your life to has chosen someone else. Olivia, thank you for making it clear who you truly are." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Olivia's expression shifted from shock to horror. Ryan stepped forward as if to intervene, but Ethan ignored him. He set the microphone down and walked off the stage. The silence in the room was deafening, broken only by murmurs and whispers. Ethan didn't look back. He walked out of the venue, his heart heavy but his mind resolute. The crisp night air hit Ethan as he exited, a stark contrast to the stifling atmosphere of betrayal inside. Driving home in silence, his mind replayed the evening's events. The pain was raw, but amidst the heartbreak, there was a strange sense of liberation. For the first time in months, he felt free. Free from the doubts and suspicions that had plagued him. In the days that followed, Ethan began to take steps to reclaim his life. He confronted Olivia in private, giving her a chance to explain. But her tearful apologies and excuses only solidified his resolve to move on. "I'm sorry," she pleaded, tears streaming down her face. But Ethan's trust had been shattered, and there was no repairing the damage. He filed for divorce, determined to start anew. Ethan leaned on his friends and family for support, finding solace in their unwavering loyalty. He poured himself into his work, channeling his energy into growing his business. Day by day, he took steps toward healing, rediscovering his passions and building a life free from betrayal. Looking back, Ethan realized the gala had been more than just the end of his marriage. It was the beginning of a journey towards self-respect and a brighter future. He deserved honesty, loyalty, and love, things Olivia had failed to give him. The night she chose someone else wasn't just a chapter of heartbreak. It was the start of a new story, one where Ethan would finally put himself first.